Hello friends, in this video I am going to cover basics of Git. Before we proceed ahead, let me quickly give you brief introduction about what Git is. Git is a distributed version control. What does that mean? That means all the files in the repository, including its full history, is mirrored on every developer's computer. It gives you a lot of benefit such as speed up most of the operations. It also improves the ability to work offline. You can browse the history of the project without going to the server to fetch the history. With this brief introduction, I will quickly jump to demonstrate few basic concepts related to Git. I will use shell for most of my practical purpose. So before we start, if you have not installed Git on your machine, you can go to the site which is mentioned here and install Git for your OS version. I am using Mac here, and depending on your OS you can install the distribution. The next step is I will open my shell here, and the first command that I am going to run is git version. This will give me version of the Git installed on my machine. If you have already installed it previously, you may have different version. No need to worry, it will work fine. Post your Git installation, the first thing that you have to do is identify yourself with the Git. There is a git command so that you can configure the user who is going to use the Git commands. The first command would be git config. I am giving parameter as global so that I don't have to type in this information again and again. So I am giving username as Amlendu Chaudhary. This I have done previously, but I am going to override this information again. If you are doing it for the first time, it would be a new information added. So I have added here username. The next command that I am going to run is basically adding a user email. So I am adding user email here. Again, I am overriding it. If you are doing it for the first time, this information would be added in your git config file. How I can look at what configuration I have on my machine? So there is a command again. It is git config list. As you can see, on my system I have got username and user email configured. I will exit from here. Now you might have one question, where this config information is stored on my machine. So generally you have got a git config file under your home directory where these informations are stored. So I can quickly go and look at, since my current directory is home directory, I can very much open my git config file. As you can see here, I have got name and email added. I will exit from here. You can use any editor. I am using Nano. So once your config is verified, the next key concept that you should be aware is what is Git repository. In Git, there are basically two ways to create a repository. You can basically create a blank folder and convert it into a Git repository. Else, if you are having a remote Git repository such as in GitHub, you can clone it from there. For the practical purpose, what I am going to do is initialize a repository in an empty directory. How I can do that? So let's first create a blank directory. So I am under home. The first thing that I will do is create a directory. So I am creating a directory name as git demo. As you can see, this is a blank directory and there is nothing inside it. So how to convert this blank directory into a Git repository? The command that we have to use is git init. So this will create a new subdirectory named as .git that contains all of your necessary repository files, a Git repository, a skeleton. You should never make changes in .git file. Generally, it is hidden, so you won't be able to see it. So the way to look at this is you can pass ls with -a as a parameter. You can see there is a .git folder here. I can go inside this folder and I can see, so I am already inside Git folder. So there are like whole bunch of files and folders which is hidden, you can see here. So you don't have to make changes in any of these folders or files, and you should never do that because it will just mess up your Git repo. I will exit from here. I will go under Git demo folder. So now it is converted into a Git repository. Now we will see next how to record changes to the repository. Remember that each file in your working directory can be in one of the two states, tracked or untracked. Tracked files are the files that were in the last snapshot, which means they can be unmodified, modified or staged, but it is something which Git is tracking. The other file type is untracked, which means that Git somehow knows that there is a file, but it is not tracking it unless we tell Git to explicitly track it. So let's create one file here. We will create file1.txt and we will create one more file, file2.txt. Now one more thing that I am going to do is basically I will have these things captured also inside Visual Studio Code, which will give me a nice visual way of looking at the branches and the repository file. So the way to open a Visual Studio file or Visual Studio project is just type in code, and in this folder I need to open it. So this will open a Visual Studio Code for me. So as you can see, it has opened Git demo folder and it has got two files inside it. Now these two files are blank, so let us write something. So I will say first change in file1.txt and in this file2 first change in file2.txt. I will save both of these files. Now I will look at the current state of these two files. So there is a command git status which gives me current status of these two files. So as you can see, these two files are untracked, which means that Git knows that there are like two files, but it is not tracking it. There is no versioning, there is no staging, nothing like that. So how I can make a file from untracked status to a tracked status? There is another command named as git add which allow me to change the status of a file from untracked to tracked. So let us do that. Now here there are two options. I can explicitly mention the file name which I want to be tracked, or I can give star, which means that start tracking all the files inside this folder. So let us add these two files, and as you can see, now again we will execute git status command, and as you can see, these two files are now in a state where I can commit it. So please notice, so you have got tracked file and untracked file. Untracked file we have not added in the repository. Now once it is added using git add command, Git has started tracking the file, but it is not yet committed to the repository. So how we can commit these changes? There is a command git commit. Now in a single line I can pass a parameter -m with the comment which will allow these two files to be committed to the repository. So this is the final status of the file, which means that it is now very much inside the repository. So as you can see, two files has been added. Now we will again check the status. As you can see, now there is nothing to commit, which means that earlier it was showing there are like files to be committed, change to be committed, as you can see here. Now since we have already committed, there is nothing more to be committed. How it is going to get reflected in Visual Studio Code? Now as you can see, there is extension, so you can also install git extensions. So as you can see, I have installed this extension, and there are like many extensions related to Git, and I can just have a look at Git history here. So as you can see, the first commit has been made, and you can see first check-in. Okay, now let us make another change. So we will make a second change in file 1, second change in file 1.txt. We'll save it. Now in the repository we will again check the status. What we are seeing it here, we are seeing that file 1 has been modified, but it is not yet staged. And you can also see a change in the status, like it is M, which means that it is modified. Now what we will do again, we will execute command git add file1.txt. Now what we will do next, we will again execute git status command, and you can see there is one change to be committed. Similarly we can commit, and we will write second commit in file 1.txt. So double quote here, that's why it's giving error. So it has inserted the changes. Now we will again look at the history of file 1. You can look at the history here. You have other option of looking at history of the changes made in the file. How to look at the commit history? We will type git log. This is a command which will allow me to see all the commits that has been made. So as you can see, there are like two commits, and if you remember, in our first commit we have added 2 files in the repository, and in our second commit we have modified file 1.txt. So this will give us detail of the history. Now the one other thing that we have to deal with most of the time is working with a remote repository. Now what we are going to do is basically push these changes to a remote repository. Now for that to happen, what we have to do is basically create a remote repository. I will use GitHub to create my remote repository. So what I will do, I will create a new repository named as git demo, and I will just create. So this new repository has been created on GitHub. You can create a similar remote Git repository on Bitbucket or any other distribution of Git. We will copy this. Now before we can use this new Git repo, before we can start using this newly created remote Git repository, we have to do certain configuration in our settings. So you go to your profile and go to your settings and go to a tab named as SSH key. Now as you can see, there is a SSH key configured here. Now my machine public SSH key is already configured on the GitHub. That's why I can connect to GitHub repo. If you don't have that, you can very much execute a command tb copy SSH. This will copy the public key of your SSH in the clipboard and you can paste it there. If you want to look at your key, you can execute this command. So this is one thing that you will have to do. Now we are all set to push our local repo to the remote repository. Now how we can add our remote repository? So the thing that we have to do here is we will add git remote. Okay, so what we are going to do next is add this remote repository. So the command to do is git remote add origin, and then we will give address of remote repository. So as you can see, now we are able to add our remote repository. The next thing that we have to do is basically pushing our changes to, which means that pushing our master branch changes to the remote repository origin branch. So git push origin master. So this command would send, I will have to enter my username here. So we will go and look at if our code is present in the Git repository, remote Git repository, because we have pushed our changes from local repository to remote. So as you can see, all our changes are present here. Now if we have to inspect our remote repository, so there is a command git remote show origin. So as you can see that it has been merged from our local master to remote master branch, and we have used git push command to do so. So we will stop here. In my next session, I will try to dig deeper into how branching works. Thank you for listening to me.